सोशल मीडिया गेम जिसका स्ट्रॉन्ग है, दे आर जस्ट किलिंग इट. एंड देन यू फील यार ये मेरी लाइफ में मैं इतना कूल नहीं हुआ क्या यार, मतलब ये सारी चीज़ें. मैं तो ये कॉन्सर्ट में नहीं जा रहा, मैं तो ये अपने मतलब मेरा तो इतना अच्छा मॉर्निंग नहीं है कि मैं कॉफ़ी पी रहा हूँ और मैं पोस्ट कर दूँ कि व्हाट अ कप ऑफ कॉफ़ी, माई डे इज जस्ट स्टार्टिंग विद दिस लिटिल कैपेचिनो ऑन और कैसे फोटो लेके. सो इट जस्ट फील्स लाइक दे आर सेलिंग एन आइडिया which can get to your head. She has this constant conflict of balancing the, what Ananya Panday, the brand, and the real Ananya, And trust me, when the world sees the real Ananya, they're gonna be like, she is so beautiful, and I'm with tears in my eyes.
Even I feel like crying. Are you actually crying?
Yeah.
Say it, how sweet.
I'm actually crying.
But yeah, I mean, I think the world, it's time, and this is, I think, one of her finest performances.
How sweet, Sidli.
Yeah, sorry.
Undoubtedly,
So
it's
sweet.
her best performance I've seen the film.
Thanks,
And it is her best
I
performance.
feel like
so
crying
far.
now. I hate crying. We're all going to cry on your show.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay. Sorry. Let's just make.
Are you
it
also
more-
crying?
We also cry. We're all just going to cry.
Let's just spend the last 2 minutes of this segment on crying and why.
Yeah.
Let's not do that. Ananya, Siddhant, Adarsh, welcome to News 18.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, I just want to take you back in time. Do you remember the first time you made an account on social media?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
on a social media website called High Five, which was
Okay.
before Orkut.
Yeah.
Before Orkut.
Before Orkut.
Okay.
I was in the 4th grade.
Right.
Yeah.
Orkut.
Orkut came in 94.
Yeah, and I used to put my crush list in my
And force other people to write testimonials. for you.
testimonials. Yeah.
भाई please एक testimonial लिख देगा.
Testimonials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine was Facebook, and I came onto Facebook younger than the age limit because all my friends were on it, and I tried to keep it a secret from my mom for very long. So slyly, when she was not at home, I used to go on it and everything. And one day I was chilling, my legs were up on the table, and my mom was not supposed to be at home. She comes home and I'm like trying to shut everything, and she's like, "What is this?" Jo maar padi na us din.
Who were you poking?
Yeah, then she made me delete it, and it was so embarrassing, and it was my only way to be in touch with people. So I just disappeared for
What do
like
you mean,
6
touch
months.
with
Like the
people when you
people
were
that were
still
not in my
school?
school, because I had never phone, but I was on
Oh,
Facebook.
Yeah. Orkut was a thing.
Orkut was a thing, yeah.
Oof. Testimonial लिखते थे, ये बहुत कुछ होता था. Orkut.
Scraps भी होता था.
Scraps भी होता था.
हाँ, वही scraps होता था.
Yeah.
But tell us, has social media ever been a burden as an actor, as a celebrity? Do you...
It tries to be.
Yeah?
It tries its best to be. It's on, I think, every individual and how to deal with that. But definitely it tries to pressurize you overall, the overall impact of being on the other side of, the social media window.
Yeah.
Where the world is outside, some are throwing stones, some are throwing flowers, some are knocking, so I see it like that visually. It's up to you if you want to open the window or not. So at times you will open the window, especially when your film is well received. You want to open the window,
But just a little bit.
it's just a little bit. But yeah, I mean, so it's up to you how you want to shut the noise. Sometimes you just want to stand at the window, put your headphones on, and just keep looking at them, doing their thing, But yeah, it is pressurizing. It tries its best to get to your head. I can say that. कि पोस्ट करो, ये करो, वो करो, ये क्या कर रहा है, वो क्या कर रहा है, हम क्यों उतना कुछ नहीं कर रहे हैं. कमी लगती है सबको अपने में, आई फील. चाहे वो ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ एक्टर्स में ही है. आई थिंक एवरी इंडिविजुअल एज अ पर्सन फील्स लेस, स्पेशली विद सोशल मीडिया, बिकॉज सोशल मीडिया गेम जिसका स्ट्रॉन्ग है, दे आर जस्ट किलिंग इट. एंड देन यू फील यार ये मेरी लाइफ में मैं इतना कूल नहीं हुआ क्या यार, मतलब ये सारी चीज़ें. मैं तो ये कॉन्सर्ट में नहीं जा रहा, मैं तो ये अपने मतलब मेरा तो इतना अच्छा मॉर्निंग नहीं है कि मैं कॉफ़ी पी रहा हूँ और मैं पोस्ट कर दूँ कि व्हाट अ कप ऑफ कॉफ़ी, माई डे इज जस्ट स्टार्टिंग विद दिस लिटिल कैपेचिनो ऑन और कैसे फोटो लेके. सो इट जस्ट फील्स लाइक दे आर सेलिंग एन आइडिया which can get to your head, and it tries its best. But I think I have made peace with that. I used to love it after Gully Boy because window क्या मेरे तो दरवाजे से लोग आ रहे थे अंदर. But then after that I eventually realized that no, I need to protect the actor in me. I cannot let there be people, let there be, I'm there to receive the love. But at the same time, अगर मैं ये अंदर काम नहीं करूँगा ना घर में बैठ के, तो ये बाहर विंडो के बाहर जितने भी लोग हैं वो सब गायब हो जाएंगे. So yeah.
Good one.
Ananya, what do you have to say?
Sid ने actually बहुत अच्छा answer दिया actually. I'm like, that's true. It actually depends on every person and their relationship. Mine's ever changing. Even similarly, I felt at the start of my career that I loved social media. I loved attention. I constantly wanted to see who was liking my picture, who was commenting, you know. I was falling into that trap a lot. I was doing a lot of things that weren't actually making me happy, but I was doing them for social media. And I think now my relationship has changed a lot. Just simple things like muting pages that are not good for your mental health. You don't even realize because your feed is actually dictating so much of your mental health. You know, the things that you're constantly seeing. And what I find really strange is, like, you have things on your feed where one page, like one post is something really sad going on in the world and you're reacting to that, and the next second you scroll and there's a cute puppy and you're reacting to that. So no one's really processing actually what they feel, you know. So everything's become very transient, everything's very fleeting. So that's something I've started to realize now, and I'm doing my best to keep myself sane and keep my mental peace going. And I think it is something that everyone has to deal with personally.
Adarsh, we don't see you posting much as such, you know, it's rare. Is that how you like
I mean,
it?
I post under pressure, honestly.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes when I want to, I do. Like when I want to share my music, etc. But mostly, like, I'm very annoyed by social media. It distracts me, and it's like a drug, and I'm an addict. And you know, it's just that. But mostly, like, I like to be focused on what I do, and like, it's like, you know, the scene from the film, like, I really like that scene where she's trying to make that presentation.
Yeah,
And she
I
puts
love
the
that
phone
scene.
there, and it almost feels like she's a meth addict, you know, because like she's typing, but her focus is there. She's like, it's buzzing, and she's just constantly.
Correct, yeah.
I think that defines what phones and social media do to us, and I just wish that this was never invented. I wish there was no Facebook, no
Imagine
Instagram,
a
nothing.
life
That'd
without-
been so
Would
nice.
there be a point of time where y'all can be off social media? Would
Sure,
you want to be?
100%.
100%, yeah.
100%.
No phones, no nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know when
I've
to
set
do
a
that.
target for like 2 to 3 years, and I'm off.
Okay.
100%.
I was gonna go off after this film, but Netflix is not letting me do that. But yeah, I mean, there is a plan to do that, but it's not, wholly, because I like writing and sharing my thoughts. So I have another page for that. But like I don't want to like show what's happening in my life. I want to share my thoughts.
Right.
And almost like a Twitter, but more positive. It's called Threads. No, but yeah, something like that. You know, I like to. There's a plan, but I'm not very sure about it when and how that will happen.
No, I'll tell you why I ask is because all three of you all also have an alternative. I mean, in Adarsh's case, he doesn't have an alternative account, but he.
I never said that.
Yeah, maybe.
I told that,
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we discovered you as a singer on
Yeah.
on social media.
Yeah.
You have City Chats,
Yeah.
and you launched an initiative against social media bullying. Was it? I mean, in your case, is that necessary? Is that the side that is there? Because we see in the film also. It's more and beyond the digital age. It's more and beyond the relationships. It's how we show how different we are in real life, and what we showcase on social media is completely a different thing. So is that why y'all have also kind of made peace with that? This is something that I am.
Thing is, the idea is to not let everybody have the whole of you. There can be bits and parts where you can connect with them, but nobody should have the whole of you.
Sure.
You should have it for yourself and your family and your friends around. So that is the idea. I think there are certain aspects which you want to speak about. ऐसा ही नहीं कि social media बुरा ही है. There are good things about it also. So वो good things में जो भी you can contribute, like for her page about bullying, against bullying, something like that, or his music. I think it's gonna take up in the next 6-7 months. He's gonna just only. So Adarsh's aspect is gonna become about music rather than the whole life of his. And that's what, as actors, I think it has become more important in these days to retain that, because there is no mystery. The stardom I could see almost, crumbling. And I was scared because as soon as I made it, the things started changing because of the pandemic. There was a lot of social media addiction to everybody because everybody was home on their phones, and there are a lot of people who are posting things better than you are. So you have to understand that you have to keep a certain mystery to yourself as an actor. And our dream is basically, I think, which I can speak for both of them, is to just be on the big screen, you know. And if I tell them everything, my every mood, and show them everything, then that won't be fun.
Yeah, it dilutes.
It dilutes. And that's why it's even difficult when Mr. Shah Rukh Khan said that Last of the Stars, it was very convincing. Nobody could ever debate that because times were different back then, and you know, there was a certain kind of intrigue about these actors. Now everything is out there. Even if we don't post, you know, we will be seen somewhere, you know, we'll be papped and all.
Access is
Access
much easier
is
now.
killing the stardom here. So I think that's why it's very important now. And the quality of work is also declining na, as actors. Like, it's very hard to retain that craft, you know, if you're too much into this thing. Because that is, I'm not saying that, you know, that is bad. I'm saying that's another craft which the creators and influencers are killing it. Sure. We have a lot of fun looking at the reels and the memes. They are killing it. So it's their job and they're doing such a great job, and we cannot compete with that because that's not our goal.
We're not supposed to also.
No, but there was a time initially where we thought we can also do all of these things, but I am not cut for the game. I don't know.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's too much of work. It's a profession now. अभी कोई बोलेगा बच्चा कि मुझे इन्फ्लुएंसर बनना है, बड़ा होके मैं क्रिएटर हूँ. There's a respectable job. So अगर हम सभी कर लेंगे, हमको
तो हाँ, किसी के लिए क्या बचेगा?
किसी के लिए क्या नहीं बचेगा? हम कर भी नहीं सकते. हम अपने लिए कुछ नहीं बच पाएगा. तो हमें हमारा फील्ड पे हमारा गेम है. तो वो उसी प्रैक्टिस चल रही है. बाकी तो आई थिंक जो बाहर जो लोग कर रहे हैं बहुत अच्छा कर रहे हैं. सो उसमें अब ट्राई भी नहीं कर रहे हैं.
Did the initiative come from a personal experience also? Was it somewhere, did it grow and then you thought that this is something that I want to explore?
Yeah, 100%. I think the idea stemmed from personally what I was experiencing, but also what I was seeing around me. It wasn't just about me. And I felt like the time we live in, it's a really relevant topic, you know, to speak about cyberbullying and trolling on social media, because it doesn't just happen to actors, it happens to everyone. Like if I take my younger sister, for example, she doesn't like being tagged when anyone from the family posts pictures, because she's like, I don't want people to she's not even an actor, but she's like, I don't want people to comment on this, that. It happens, you know, there's so many young kids out there who are so talented and so passionate about makeup, dancing, singing, and they're so afraid to put that out there because people are so ready to jump or make fun, because now you're behind a screen. You can hide and say anything you want to anyone. So that's where the idea came from. It stemmed obviously from slightly a personal space, but I think what gave me the motivation to carry it forward was a lot of the young kids who used to come up to me and speak to me and tell me that I made it a lot easier for them to, you know, understand the steps forward if something was going wrong online with them. So yeah, and now I don't think it's just limited to cyberbullying and social media. It's kind of become a general sense of kindness and positivity. I think that's where I'm trying to take it now.
Yeah, so I was talking, you know, when I watched the film, what I liked is that, you know, it's not just the current generation who can relate to, it's you know, our parents and everyone who we can relate, who can relate to this concept, you know, this whole idea of friendship and the heartbreaks and, you know, how they come together. Did you all discover anything about each other as people more than as actors? I mean, you all both have worked earlier also, but otherwise, was there any kind of discovery?
She doesn't like to share food. He likes to climb trees.
Okay.
Like discoveries in terms of like who Sid is as a person?
As a person, yeah. Not as an actor, like, you know, as a person.
I have to think about it.
I think for me it was both of their sensitivity to, as an actor and as a human being also, because I think people, obviously it's our job to be presentable to people and put on a certain face when you come to work, but I think they both really understood me as a person and they gave me that space for whatever I was dealing with in my life. I think they both dealt with it differently. Like Adarsh would speak to me more seriously about certain things and Sid would try to make me laugh. So they both kind of
balanced it.
Yeah, it was a very like flowing relationship between what our characters are and then what we actually are in people. Like somewhere they became Neil and Imad for me. Like I could rely on them as actual friends also, and I feel like in a working environment that is very important because everyone comes with so much baggage and you have to leave it behind, but if someone's there to support you and make you feel slightly lighter, that's always better.
Sure.
What I did learn about Sid was that he's a born performer. Like, you know how some people just have this flair where they can work with any crowd and can almost control a crowd. Sid has that inherently. Or he's also worked on it immensely. It's, I'm sure it's a combination of both. But he's a born performer and an entertainer. And he loves to do it, and I can see that he really enjoys it. You know, even when, for example, when we had the music launch, like... the energy that he has, and when he goes on stage, it's very infectious almost. So the whole crowd automatically like starts getting involved in it. So yeah, I think that's a very, very admirable quality of him. Ananya, I think, is she's very real in what she does. I don't think she pretends to be anybody else. And that sort of comes through in her performances, is why like I feel like this film is like, her character for me is my favorite character. And she really shines in it, and I think it's how real she is and how honest she is with herself, and also about the way she talks about things, you know. Like I don't think she's scared to voice her opinion, as long as it's not too controversial. But yeah, I think that's what I discovered about her, about how easy and real she is.
No, for me, I'll tell you the other side also, because I know her. Because with us, she's that. But I have seen her, like, you know, she has this constant conflict of balancing the, you know, what Ananya Panday, the brand, and the real Ananya, you know. And trust me, when the world sees the real Ananya, they're gonna be like, she is so beautiful. And I'm with tears in my eyes.
Even I feel like crying. Yeah,
okay.
Crying.
Yeah.
Say it, not sweet.
Actually cry.
But yeah, I mean, I think the world, it's time, and this is, I think, one of her finest performances.
Oh, sweet, Sidley.
Yeah, sorry.
Undoubtedly,
So
it's her
sweet.
best performance I've seen the film, and
Thanks,
it is her best
I
performance.
feel like
so
crying
far.
now. I hate crying. We're all gonna cry on your show.
Okay.
Sorry, let's just make.
Are you also crying?
We also cry. We're all just gonna cry.
Oh, let's just spend the last 2 minutes of this segment on crying and why.
Yeah.
Let's not do that. But tell me, I mean, in today's day and age, you know, when we are in this digital age, how do you define love? When you know love is just like a right swipe away, you can just like kind of like someone just doing a right swipe, and you know just not like someone just doing a left swipe. You know, how do you personally define love?
I think love is a lot of sacrifice, and it's a lot of selflessness, and it's a lot of changing yourself and accepting the new.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think love is muting the noise, especially in these times when there's so much noise around you. Somebody you can just, you know, you don't feel like checking your phone. You feel like you're there with that person, and everything is just, you know, muted. Because I think we live in a world of consumerism. We live in a world where everything is maximized. So that feeling of, you know, being, you know, minimalistic and feeling that intimacy towards somebody is very important, and it's now getting even more rare because everybody's distracted. There are 100 things. Your Zomato's popping, your Tinders, your Instagram, the 100 things which distract you. Your TV, there's entertainment everywhere. We have World Cup, and then we have the IPL, and then we have the films, then everybody's onto something, and then we have इस पूरी भीड़ में, you know, जो वो शांति है, वो I think प्यार है मेरे लिए.
Yeah, for me, I think it's about work. It takes a lot of work, but it shouldn't feel like work. You know, it should feel easy and it should feel happy. But it does take, as Adarsh said, sacrifices and patience and change and growth. But it's about, I think, who you're willing to do that for.
Great. On that note, we'll end the conversation, and it was really fun. Sorry to make you cry.
I'm sorry, actually.
So sweet.
But it was nice. It was a very genuine emotion that really came out, and I'm looking forward to, you know, for people to watch Kho Gaye Hum Kahan, because it's actually a very beautiful film.
Well,
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Thank
Thank you.
I felt like I was in therapy in this whole interview.